It's Nolan. What's going on, y'all? It's the kid J Nolan here. 2024, this is the definition of no stone shall go unturned, okay? If you've been out here playing David and Goliath, you Goliaths better watch out because somebody is out here headhunting. As a matter of fact, everybody is out here headhunting, and we're not talking about Brian Urlacher, Ray Lewis type shit, okay? For my people that watch football. Now, I didn't know that Miss Monique was actually lined up to do a Shannon Sharpe Club Shay Shay interview today. But Miss Monique showed up with receipts. She definitely showed up ready to talk today. She's addressing a lot of the things that we've already heard from Monique. We've heard about Monique in the press over the last few years. But this is the first time in a long time where she was able to sit down for multiple hours, like 3 hours damn near, and just get everything put out on Front Street. It's like a motherfucking spread on the Thanksgiving table, okay? You just get what you want out of it, feel me? You ain't got to get the turkey, but you can get the dressing. You don't want the dressing, we got the goddamn, you know what I mean? We got the greens. I know y'all be saying I'm hungry and shit in my videos, but I just like, I like comparing this menu of sorts. You know what I'm saying? But fuck it, that's me. I'm a hungry nigga, fuck it. So we gonna get right into it, man, because Monique held no punches. As y'all can see on my thumbnail, she addressed Tyler Perry. She addressed Oprah Winfrey. She addressed, goddamn, DL Hughley. Tiffany Haddish caught her, I wouldn't even say caught her stray. She caught a snipe, just like a real good, I see you over there, motherfucker. Clink, clank. All right, back to business type shit, man. Like, this was masterful. And I mean, when I say masterful, we all saw Cat Williams and his approach, the way that he went in with his Club Shay Shay interview, which he definitely exhibited poise. He exhibited control of himself. He exhibited, you know, the use of his words. He definitely exhibited some cap as well, but we overlooked that for the overarching message. With Monique, she's got even more poise because she doesn't even come in. She don't even raise her motherfucking voice. She come in on some auntie love you, baby, but you know I gotta get you type shit. That's how Miss Monique came through, man. So, of course, I haven't even had an opportunity to watch the entire interview. That's a mission for tonight. But we gotta address some of the things that are floating on the net in this moment, man. It's too much gold not to speak on it. Now, let's go ahead and hear what Monique had to say about Cat Williams' interview, right? Because people are saying that this is the moment of the truth speakers, the truth tellers, the people that are not afraid to come out and let things be known, whether it be people that wronged them, things that went wrong in the industry, the behind the scenes mechanics of the industry that they delve into that so many people want to be a part of. So we're going to start here and then we're going to work our way down to everybody else. All right. So strap on, baby. You know what I'm saying? Put your Air Force Ones on, your hot top motherfuckers.
Everything.
Strap them bitches. Okay? So let's hear what she had to say addressing Cat Williams specifically, and then we'll move forward from there.
When we know something is wrong, everything Cat Williams sat here and said,
right,
we all know it to be the truth. However, we get so caught up in, well, I ain't gonna say nothing.
Right.
Well, can you believe he said it? Or can you?
Or it's the messenger.
It's the messenger, baby. We get so caught up in the messenger that we'll overlook the message. People have a hard time hearing a 5'5" giant tell the truth. People have a hard time with a black woman over 200 pounds tell the truth, because people that look like us, we should just be grateful we got invited to the party.
Right.
We should just be grateful that someone paid us attention. I've dealt with that my whole life. I've dealt with that. So when you get to a space where you say, listen, I want to be free. I want to be free. I don't want to walk around intimidated, scared, fearful. What might happen? What they going to say? What they going to do? If it's your story and it's the truth, tell it. Because what you can do is be in a position to prevent it happening to someone else over and over and over again. So if I go back to the 11th grade with that sister.
All right. So first thing she addresses, you know what I'm saying, in our conversation anyway, is Cat Williams and saying people were off put or surprised or shocked to see a 5'5" giant come out and let his truth be told and let everything be seen and heard, right? Anybody that wronged him, anybody that played on his head top, anybody that tried to side swipe him out of an opportunity or play with him or, you know what I'm saying, try to invite him to the type of party that he was not eager to be at, if you know what I mean. He said his piece. Now Monique is going to peel back the layers on hers. Okay. Now the big story, of course, is Oprah, Taraji P. Henson. Okay. So she came out with her support of Taraji, but also spoke on the fact that, you know, she was one of the main people that was advocating for equality, equity in Hollywood, higher pay. A lot of people made fun of her, tried to make it seem like she wasn't worthy. When she first came out talking about Netflix, I admittedly was one of those people that was not understanding of everything that was going on, why she felt like she was entitled to such a high ticket price, you know what I'm saying, in terms of comparing what Dave Chappelle was making, Amy Schumer, I think it was, and she wanted to be more so in the ballpark of an Amy Schumer than a Dave Chappelle. But, you know, it was tough to accept because it's like, Monique, we haven't really seen you active out here in a while. So when you first come back, you got to assess the demand. It's a little bit different for a Dave Chappelle. That's how I felt in that moment. And I can understand today why I said that, but I did not understand, you know, the talk she was having behind the scenes, right? What I didn't understand is why she had been off the radar for some time, why she wasn't necessarily accepting roles or working with certain people in the industry, right? Due to the relationships, due to the collusion, due to people basically tag teaming to get her out of Hollywood, in so many words. We didn't understand that there was a scheme. And some people may come on here and try to, you know, sway my opinion on Nicki Minaj. We're not going to play that game. All right? Don't do it. Don't insult my intelligence. Don't insult Monique's intelligence. And we've seen that she commented on Nicki's IG recently, was giving her some love and light. But let's be honest. If Monique really knew the story of what was going on with Onika, she wouldn't be supporting. Moving right along, let's get into what Miss Mo had to say.
When I saw Taraji broken on those platforms, it was painful to watch. However, Taraji and I had a conversation over a decade ago.
Yes.
In my trailer when I was doing the Monique show. And she said, you know, you got to keep on getting it until your turn comes. And I said, Taraji, most of us die before our turn comes. We got to ask for it right now. Now, I understand that because there was a time I felt the same way.
Exactly.
Because that's what I was told.
Right.
You just keep going and we'll get them the next time. We'll get them the next time. We'll get them the next time.
Let's pause for the cause here, people. Somebody's spitting and I think it's loud. I think it's hitting home for a lot of people right now. Because I think a lot of times when we come into these moments, and I can speak on it as an entertainer, but regardless of your walk of life, your profession, I think that this is relevant. When it comes to asking pay in a corporate job or whatever it is that you do, and you see what's given on the paper, right? And you know that you're worth more than that, or you know that your experience would demand more than that. You would know that the amount of work, the amount of expertise that you're going to bring to the table in order to excel in this position is way more valuable than what's on that paper, right? A lot of people don't have the courage to say, this is what I'm worth. This is the value of what I'm bringing to the table. Not because I'm trying to strong arm y'all, not because I'm trying to take advantage of your resources, but because if you want me to do this job effectively, you want to get where, you know what I'm saying, you want to take this company to the next level based on this piece that I bring, you're going to have to compensate me properly for it. You're going to be taking time out of my life, taking time away from my family, right? Taking attention away from other things that I may desire in my motherfucking life in order to come work for you. Yes, I need to be compensated for that. And yes, everybody needs to work. You find a replacement if need be. I'm gonna ask the next motherfucker the same shit. Excuse me, thank you. You know what I mean? So keep going, get what you can, and get them the next time. That's a lot of people's mentality. I've lived in that for sure in this entertainment music space, content creation space. Oh my God. Some motherfuckers will come to you with a couple $100 and want you to have 15 deliverables for them over a 3-month rollout. And you think you finna pay me $100 a month? You might as well put that shit in the Instagram ads, homeboy. Fuck is you talking about? You know what I mean? But I'm gonna let her keep going. But that shit is real. That shit is too real. And a lot of people that ain't speaking up, they feeling what Monique talking about, and Taraji.
And the next time never comes. And then you see our sister, broken, sitting on those platforms. Now, when I said it,
why didn't it get the traction when you said it that when she said it? Now all of a sudden everybody is coming, and I don't have a problem. I'm glad.
Yes.
But if you said this a decade ago, and I remember you saying it over a decade ago, why didn't it get the traction? Why didn't it get the support? Why wasn't it propped up when Monique said it?
I think there's a few reasons why. Number one, it was the messenger. I should just be grateful I got invited to the party. You a big fat black woman. How dare you be the one? And then on top of that, you're saying names. You're saying Oprah's name out loud. You're saying Tyler's name out loud. You're saying Lee's name out loud. You're saying Lionsgate out loud. That's not what we do. We say they. We say the people.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's what got y'all motherfuckers really thinking the Illuminati got y'all life in their hands. They. Nah, man. These motherfuckers got names. These motherfuckers got birth certificates, man. These motherfuckers got social security numbers, EIN numbers, DBAs, LLCs, goddamn LLPs, corporations. You understand? It ain't all about they. A lot of motherfuckers, you know, these government motherfuckers, these people that y'all be electing, they be tied into a lot of the bullshit too. Not just, you know, on an environmental level, not just on a societal level, but even down to the entertainment and shit, even down to what we be seeing. They be invested in a lot of the shit and be swaying how shit run, what the messaging is that's being relayed to the people. These motherfuckers tricking, man. And if you want to go down to what the Illuminati originally was, it was supposed to have been a group of free thinkers, highly intelligent people, right? The illuminated ones being the decision makers and meeting up and having, you know, vital conversations about what to do with the common folk, right? So even if you want to take it that way, it's the same principle. But now we've evolved so much as people, right? The money, the access, the resources, independence, or at least the illusion of it. We can kind of be these societies within our own groups of people. You can start your own company, start your own studio, start this and start that. And now you become the gatekeeper. You become the motherfucking passer that says, nah, you can't come through. Or you gonna come through, but you gonna take, you know what I mean? You gonna take it on the rear. You gonna have to do this. You gonna have to do that. You gonna get on this camera and humiliate yourself on this tape that I'm gonna save. If you ever go bad, I'm gonna put this shit out on your ass type shit. You know what I mean? But that's human nature. That's because niggas is wretched in their spirits. So for her to put stamps on it and say, you did this, you did that, that becomes jarring. You would think that the average person in society would support that. But she says she feels people had adverse reactions to it because she was a fat black woman coming out speaking about other folks that we see as influential, especially Oprah. People had such high expectations, so much reverence for Oprah. And some of it is definitely, a lot of it is definitely justified, but some of it is, you know, crumbling.
We say the studio. We say the producers. How dare you actually say our heroes' names?
You're very specific.
These are our heroes. How could you say their names out loud? Because they're the ones that did it. And if I don't say it out loud, now you see a woman that is swallowing that pain, that is so stressed out. Then you see our sister Taraji P. Henson sit on that platform. And I love that baby because she's a beautiful spirit. But to see her that broken, what our community was saying was, we have a hard time, some of us, we have a hard time seeing a strong black woman with a back straight and a chin up and a strong black man standing by her side.
That part. And let's be clear. It's not just black women. But we're gonna stop the bus on the black woman part for now. Because yeah, I think the posturing is different, right? As Monique is alluding to, Taraji's crying. She got tissue. You know, she's kind of saying it in a way that makes you have to think twice about what she's saying, and just like, damn, seeing her in this emotional state is affecting me. I hate to see someone crying. Damn, fuck, how could you do this? Monique will look you dead square in your fucking face and say, hey, bitch, you did me wrong. I need mine. Cut me in on what the fuck I deserve. I've been putting my shit on the line 10 plus years in this industry. I got this accolade, this accolade, this accolade, this accolade, and y'all been doing me dirty the entire time. Y'all can't fucking play with me no more. When a nigga come to you like that, it's easier to get defensive and be like, hold on. What that nigga RDC and them say, oh, hold on, Jamal. Put the strap away. Motherfuckers start pivoting on their square. And in order to get you to back up, they're going to play the victim. Even though they were the ones that were taking advantage of you, they're going to play the victim. And then they could use the fact that you stand confidently with your chest out, with your eyes directly to a motherfucker, and be like, this aggressive black woman is trying to strong arm us. No. And then what do? We take the same stance and look at it from that exact same vantage point when we know, come on, man, ever since slavery, even before then, because there was other constructs that were available to man before slavery became this big thing, right? And even cultures of white people have been enslaved because of where they come from, who they are, their hair color, you know what I'm saying? Their class, their financial situation. So these motherfuckers really don't care about, I mean, they do. They care about the skin. But really, if you're deemed as disposable, put them to work. Hey, if $1 going to change your life, be happy that I'm willing to give you 30 cents. And you could come back for the next few days or months or whatever it is to get that dollar that's going to change your life. Even though I could give you the entire $1 today and change your life. Nigga, fuck you. You need to be dependent on me. And if you need a bill paid, you need something else, you need to come ask me for it and I'll think about it. That's the game. That's how you keep people mentally enslaved. It's even beyond physical, spiritually enslaved, right? Because at a certain point, you become their God. I don't want to preach too much. Let's let Monique do it.
We have a hard time accepting that. But we can accept seeing a black woman broken. Now it's really serious because she's falling apart. Our community had a hard time with those two things. And when I would hear people say, why is her husband there? Why is he there? It's a sad day when we're questioning why a black man would stand with his black woman. So when you hear black women saying we're the most undervalued, disrespected, underserved, mistreated, violated, exploited, we get all of that. Then you see a black man standing with his black woman saying, not on my watch. And you hear some black men saying, why her husband gotta be there?
Now let's pause there. Because I always was under the impression that that's what the fuck a husband is for. right? Protection, not just physically, you know what I'm saying? But in the terms of, hey, this is a man who naturally is going to protect his wife, be alert, make sure that she's good. But she's also entrusting him with her career as her manager. So of course he would need to be present. I've even questioned that shit myself. Like, hey, maybe she would get further if he wasn't her manager, right? But that's not for me or anyone else to determine. Because if at any moment in my own situation, if I wanted to appoint my lady as my manager, or if she wanted to appoint me as hers, motherfucker, you're going to have to deal with whoever I got, right? Now, I can see if that person is being, overly intrusive, being disrespectful, right? Trying to impose their will on a room full of people just because they feel like they can due to their connection to the star. But we haven't heard any of those types of stories. They're just mad that he's present. They're just mad that when the conversations are happening and they're trying to lowball her, he's willing to interrupt and say, hey, I have a question about that. Hey, I don't think that sounds right. Hey, let's stop here on this piece right there. Can you explain that again? Because what's registering to me is not correct, or it doesn't feel correct based on who we're talking about. That's what you would have a husband for. And a manager, if he's going to play double duty role, right? That's what the union before God, if we're going to take it on that level, is supposed to be. But if you just take it on a molecular level from man to woman, you combine yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Man is normally looked at as protector, provider, if that's, you know what I mean? Woman more so the nurturer, more brains than bronze. You know what I'm saying? Those types of things, and they're interchangeable by any day for some. But if you see a woman come in with her husband, why would you question that? Sounds like you're trying to hide something. Sounds like you would rather separate them, divide and conquer.
We're in a sad state of affairs when we begin to question Black love and Black unity. So they didn't want to hear me, some of them, because of what I look like, because I spoke about their heroes, and because they saw that man standing right there strong. I'm not the first one, but we get washed away in history so easily that we start thinking, oh, this is the first one, this is the first one. Her name is Claudette Colvin. And she's not the first one, but she was before Rosa Parks. Mm-hmm. But because Claudette Colvin did not fit the picture that they thought she should look like, she was dark skinned and she had coarse hair. And because the organization, I believe it was the NAACP, did not think she would be accepted by the white people, they had to get somebody that they said the white people could accept. We keep repeating the same thing because what I said is no different than what anyone else is saying. Not at all.
Right.
It was the messenger. And it was the way that I'm not putting my head down. I'm not shedding one tear. I'm not going to say, I don't want to say their name because I might get in trouble. I'm going to say all of it.
Right.
Because when you really think about that little girl coming behind you, what I don't ever want that baby to see is me broken. I don't want her to see me falling apart. And I understand it. I understand how it can happen, Shannon, when you may not have a foundation at home.
Correct.
Beginning to understand a lot more about Monique, just letting her speak, letting her have a platform. Because, when she goes to places like the Breakfast Club or different platforms, one thing that you always have to deal with is like the host interrupting you. You can't get your complete thought out because by the time you make a poignant point, they want to counter and ask something else, or they want to move on and pivot the conversation because they only have a limited time with you. But with Club Shay Shay with Shannon Sharpe, he allows people to say what it is that they need to say. He does a good job of interjecting where he can, but even when he feels, if he tries to jump in and it's an incomplete statement, he'll fall back and let you still finish your thought, even if you got to go for an extra 10 minutes. That, some people say, oh, he's not a journalist, da-da-da-da-da. No, he's not a journalist. He's actually showing you motherfuckers that all you really got to do is cut on a mic, ask the right question, and let somebody speak. Get the fuck out the way. Let God do their work. And when I say God do the work, I'm saying let God speak through these people, right? Some people don't deserve to have a mic, but that's your discernment as an interviewer and as a platform. Now, I didn't know about Miss Claudette Colvin either, so I want to go ahead and give her flowers in this beginning of Black History Month. I probably heard her name growing up, but we always knew of Rosa Parks. But she was actually the first woman to refuse to give up her seat on a bus, as Monique pointed out, before Rosa Parks. They say, unfortunately, Colvin is just a footnote in the civil rights movement, when in reality, she should be celebrated as a pioneer. About 9 months before Rosa Parks took her stand, Colvin did the very same thing. She was unwed and pregnant as a teenager during her proceedings, which is why she was not hoisted up and put on the front lines. So when Monique says because her image wasn't where it needed to be, she was also darker than a Rosa Parks as well, but she was also a teenager that was pregnant and out of wedlock. Think about the time period for that. So, boom, back to Monique.
When you may not have that man at home or that woman at home, whomever, that support person saying you're not crazy.
Right.
I got you. Come on. We're going to go through this. We're going to get through this. So for us, if we start taking things for what they are and get out of our emotions, we will be so far along.
And that's another reason why, you know, some people have been enjoying my channel the past few weeks, because I come to YouTube with more of an educational outlook than maybe some of the other content creators that are out here, some of the YouTubers that are out here. And that's not a knock to anybody. We all have our own style. We all have our own preference. We all have our different ways of communicating. But for me, I come in with the intention of education, because when I started this channel or started producing content for this channel, my whole thing was, as an artist, how can I teach fellow artists how to set up their business, or at least look at themselves as a business, right? Because I was actually in the process of learning how to set up my business at the same time. But I was learning, I was reading, and I was tired of being a fucking dead, broke ass, starving ass artist, right? And I didn't feel like things were moving for me the right way. I felt like the industry was moving in a direction that didn't necessarily cater to my strengths. And I knew that this was something that I was developing since I was a kid, and that I was deeply in love with, as far as creating music. And once I started like making money from music and getting my songs in TV shows and stuff like that, I had fellow artists that wanted to learn, and they would hit me in my DMs and they would be like, bro, how did you do that? How did you do that? How did you do that? And so I started coming into contact with, even before I started doing content, I created an event series called the Songwriter Social Club, where I had songwriters, artists, engineers, people that work in the industry show up and teach people how to make money in the industry. Because if you don't do anything for anyone else, you can't complain. If you're not willing to put your flag in the ground and make something easier for the people that are either coming through with you or those coming after you, then what are you going to complain for, right? I don't look at myself as an activist. I look at myself as a fucking, just somebody that's willing to share, right? I used to see interviews of artists and people would ask how they did this, and they would withhold so much information. And of course, they got their own stories and their own reasons, but it just wouldn't seem practical how they would talk about their life. So for me, I wanted to offer that up. So I understand wholeheartedly where Monique is coming from, because we're kind of in the same thought process. You know what I mean? Not in the same status. I'm trying to get to the meals, but God willing, we will. And somebody got to stand up.
Do you believe punishment? Punishment is not only meant for the perpetrator, but it's also to deter others from said acts.
You see it.
Do you believe the punishment that was bestowed upon Monique was not only to punish you,
saw it,
but to deter others from saying what you said?
Well, Shannon, see here, and I'm going to answer that.
setting an example for the next motherfucker in line. I'm gonna break this person so you know what's coming to you and you're gonna get it worse. Slavery shit.
But sometimes we act like we don't know our history. See, back in the day when they had us in chains, they would beat one real good.
Right. But in front of the others.
In front of the others, and they let everybody know what you don't want is that type of ass whooping.
Right.
So what they said was, we're going to beat Monique really good. We're going to sit her down. And I made it public. Financially, my family took a hit, Shannon. And when I tell you we took a hit,
Right.
we took a hit.
Boom. So that's pretty much the size of it with the situation with Taraji P and her reiterating her stance on Hollywood and the studios and even the Oprahs of the world. They seem to have that in common, even though Taraji wrote a letter thanking Oprah, right? Well, let's get down to the nitty-gritty of the Oprah situation. Why does Monique have so much disdain for this particular woman, this hero, this woman who just came at a time where a black woman on TV having her own talk show, wow, evolving into a billionaire, having her own network, that would seem like the most inspirational person in the world. Well, let's get to it.
She feels the exact same way about you.
How could she? How could she? What have I taken from Oprah? When did I have Oprah's mother and father on my show? When did I have anybody come and speak about Oprah Winfrey on the Monique show?
Boom. Now let's get into a little context before this actually happened. Shannon was actually asking her about some of the infractions between her and Oprah. And what she was saying was how Lee Daniels was coming to Monique, offering her roles and basically saying, I want you to play the role. And then he would have to come back at a later time and renege and say, hey, I can't give you the role. Oprah stepped in and said she wants to take it. And his reason, number one, who turns down Oprah, but also it was, I don't have the power in the industry, because Lee Daniels was a fledgling director. He wasn't always, Empire, Precious, all that type shit wasn't always there for him, right? So he had to acquiesce to the people that were willing to look out for him. Although he didn't do that for Dame Dash. When you got Oprah and Tyler Perry and people like that on your side, yeah, you're gonna kowtow a little bit, or at least he did. So he would have to come back and be like, yeah, Oprah got the relationships to produce the film and da-da-da-da-da, so I'm gonna go with this. And she says it happened multiple times the same way. It's almost like, yo, are you stepping in to help him, or are you stepping in to move me the fuck up out the way? Because why is it that every role that he comes and specifically asks for me, she's not auditioning for these roles, he's offering them to her. All of a sudden it turns around and it's like, I don't get Monique, let me do it. And she just wanted to have a conversation with Oprah to talk about it, to see, am I catching this? Am I receiving this the right way? Or is this just all coincidental? And she was never able to have those conversations. But then her family ended up on the Oprah show disparaging her and talking down upon her. And, that became a whole other thing. So now she's coming to the realization of, damn, you must really be trying to take me out. You must really got something against me. Now, let's get to the clip.
It's never happened. So how could she feel that?
Would you have done that?
Had her family on?
Yeah.
Let me tell you how we operate. When we had the Monique show, there was a comedian on there. And he was trying to joke T.I.'s wife, Tiny. My husband walked out in the middle of his set. He said, cut. He said, brother, we don't do that here. We uplift our folks. We don't play that. So no, I would not have done that. When Oprah Winfrey had my family, and I'll tell y'all, and I'm looking around, baby, because there are people here.
Yes.
Okay, and I don't want to be rude to the people at Shay Shay's club. You got other people in the club, right? When Oprah Winfrey called me up, and she said, I got a call from your brother. And this is after I won the Oscar award, right? And your brother wants to come on the show, and he wants to apologize to you for molesting you. And he wants to tell other people how to look out for a predator.
Right.
Number one, what type of nigga does that? You go through your entire life living with the fact that you did some shit like that and you want to apologize on TV? You don't even want to you don't want to apologize in private first? You want to take it to TV. So you want some notoriety. You want to get out there. This your opportunity to maybe work your move. You sorry, nasty, degenerate motherfucker.
I said, Oprah, I said, I don't want anything to do with that cat. I said, and then she said, well, if you want me to scratch the show, I will scratch it. I said, sis, don't scratch it because he could be a different person. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to get in the way if that cat is a different person. I just don't want no parts of it.
Right.
Okay? Mm-hmm. When I hung up that phone, Shannon, I was like, I appreciate that sister. Like, she didn't have to call me.
She didn't.
So this is where we're getting somewhere. At this point, it's a shakedown. It's like, okay, I'm calling you, blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah, everything, yeah, okay, cool. Monique goes, and it's like, damn, shout out to Oprah. Damn, that was a real ass move. Good luck. You ain't got to shut it down. Let him tell his side. See where this goes.
He didn't have to call me and say, I'm going to have your brother.
Right.
I start seeing commercials with my mother and my father.
Pop.
And my other brother, who used to be my manager, who knew the fear that I had with the brother that was up on stage, right? Mm-hmm. We never talked about my mother being there.
She never told you that.
How you play with somebody's mama, man? You got me on the phone, you asking about her brother, but you not telling nobody that you also in conversation with the mama, the daddy, the other brother. You had a golden opportunity to tell me you had my whole family coming up, but you only addressed one person. This the who all gonna be there?
You know how you feel about your grandparents?
Yes, absolutely.
You know the honor and how you speak about them? Mm-hmm. Imagine you then seeing your granddaddy and your grandmama on a show, and they're talking about somebody that violated you, and that woman didn't tell you that they were going to be there. How would you feel?
I would feel like you felt.
Some slick Felix the Cat shit, man. Can't fuck with it.
Betrayed.
That is exactly how I felt and how I feel. And it's not, no, I understand it. But you betrayed me, sister. And I'm not the only one.
Because at the time when she called you, she said it was just your brother.
Just my brother. And when my mother was on that show, do you know what I had to deal with, Shannon?
What's that?
I would be in the store, and I would have elderly women coming up to me, and they would say, your mama ain't shit.
Wow.
Now, they wasn't lying, Shannon.
Ain't that about a bitch?
Hey.
And I'm not talking about your mama.
They wasn't lying, baby. Sometimes you gotta let the truth be the goddamn truth. Sometimes you got to just go with it. But still, it's my mother.
It's your mom.
And I'm in here, and because when she went, I'm having to defend something. And I got that often with them telling me what my mother wasn't, because you did not tell me. Had Oprah Winfrey said, I'm going to have your mama, I'd have said, shut that shit down. I don't need nobody seeing my mama be greedy. I don't need the world seeing. Shut it down. Now, there's a white woman named Barbara Walters. Mm-hmm. They called her first. And she said, Monique, I told your family, I can't do that to you. I wouldn't do that to you. You just won that award. Like, why would I do that?
Yeah,
Now, if y'all saw my previous video talking about Jacquees, DeAndre Sanders, and Dreezy, I did a whole little spiel talking about integrity. It's one of my favorite words. That's the difference between people, that the fabric, the soil that you come from, the cloth. Everybody say we cut from we ain't cut from the same cloth. That's a fucking fact. How is it that Oprah can't turn down an interview with Monique's family where they're trying to come up off her, strong arm her into money, make her look bad, But Barbara Walters has the integrity to say, I can't do that to you. A white woman. You would think, you know, as black people, we could look at each other and kind of know what the fuck going on. Even if you ain't never met a motherfucker, somebody acting an ass, y'all connect. You could be at the motherfucking CVS and a motherfucker just, oh, you see somebody and y'all share that glance like, oh shit. Where's the post on Oprah? I know a lot of people sniff up her ass and you can smell what the fuck she done ate for the last 4 days. But at some point, we got to call a thing, man. I don't got nothing against Oprah. I don't know this woman. I never met her. I probably would shake her hand and smile if I did. But some shit ain't right. Don't mean you got to dislike a person in totality to acknowledge that they did some fuck shit.
When I saw her,
that's discernment. Now, I want to get back to the rest of this Barbara Walters thing, right? Because I just think it's vital.
Mm-hmm. They called her first. And she said, Monique, I told your family, I can't do that to you. I wouldn't do that to you. You just won that award. Like, why would I do that?
Yeah, you're here. Why would I bring something that I know that you don't want to talk about? You lived it. Why do I need to replay it again?
Ask her. Your camera right there.
Put him on the spot.
I was trying to.
I know, baby, but ask her. See, this is where it get juicy, right?
Yeah.
Because you're saying the right things, but you're asking me questions that I can't answer.
Right.
I can't answer why Oprah Winfrey did what Oprah Winfrey did.
Yeah.
Only Oprah Winfrey can answer for her actions.
Yes.
So again, stop being scared.
No,
I knew that would get him on there. I knew that would pop him back in, baby. I knew that would get up a Shay Shay.
But even this show.
All right. Now, moving off of Oprah for a moment, Monique also addressed the fact that she only made $50,000 for her Oscar Best Supporting Actress role in Precious. Iconic role, biggest role of her career possibly. One of those roles that you can never turn down. You couldn't even imagine having it on your desk, right? In entertainment, some people never get to, you know what I'm saying, take the Oscar away from it. Memorable pieces where you just watch it and be like, damn, this is some great acting. I fucking hate this person on the screen because you're doing such a great job. Well, let's hear Monique talk about it.
How much did you make for the role, Mary and Precious?
I was paid $50,000.
That's it.
That's it. And I never complained because that's what I signed up for. It was an independent film. Mm-hmm. Right? So when my friend called me, and I'm going to quote him, he said, bitch, this one right here. He said, this shit is crazy. By the time I got the page,
she's talking about Lee Daniels, by the way.
10, I called him back. I said, what the hell is this, Lee? He said, bitch, I know. He said, it's sick. After my husband and I read that script, he said, Mama, if you play this with no judgment, when he say action, don't judge the character, just become it. This is an award-winning.
Yes.
This is award-winning. So with all of that being said, I never complained about the $50,000. I did everything I was supposed to do. No, nothing. It is when they started asking me to become a slave. It is when Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey started asking me to work for free. It is when they started doing the bidding for whomever the gatekeeper was at the time to say, we can get her. Remember the scene in Sparkle? You ever seen Sparkle with Irene Cara?
Yeah.
And Philip Michael Thomas.
Yeah.
Remember when they was in the car because the Jew man was trying to get him to sign over that contract? Mm-hmm. And he kept shaking his head like, you will not get me to turn my back on this woman.
Right.
That's what this is. We ain't turning our back. My husband ain't turning his back. He ain't signing up for something he know ain't right. And people have a problem with that. And we got to keep speaking on it, Shannon, because the next one's coming for real. I would hate for you to have to sit another sister in this chair.
Mm-hmm.
Same shit I've been talking about. It's easy to get caught up in that Cadillac Records shit, right? She only made $50,000. She did her job, right? It went through the independent film circuit, the film festivals, all that. And typically what ends up happening, if your shit is good enough, the studios come, they want to drop a bag for the rights to the movie. The problem is she wasn't going to get any residual. She wasn't going to get any additional pay off of that bag being dropped. As we saw, that movie ended up getting picked up. That movie ended up becoming an Oscar-winning movie, an Oscar-winning role for her. But all she got was $50K. Now you got to understand, to the average person, $50K sounds like a great deal of money. Oh, you went and just filmed for a couple weeks, you made $50,000. Right. But once it goes out into the ether, it starts generating a lot more money. You get paid $50,000 and then something goes off, especially when you signed up for it to be an indie thing. You didn't know if it was going to go all the way. And the next thing you know, it makes $100 million. Right? Or the studio pays $25 million to acquire the rights, but you're not in that conversation. You start looking at it a little differently. Y'all want me to go do press. Y'all want me to do the red carpet. Y'all want me to go do all this. Who is going to pay for it? Yeah? On some Godfrey shit. Who is going to pay for it? In my day, we did not have feet. Therefore, I will not be showing up, goddammit. So I understand exactly where she's coming from. I know a lot of people don't. You got to put yourself in that position. You got to understand. You got to look at yourself a little bit from the perspective of shit. Sometimes when you're working at a regular job, you're thinking, how much money y'all motherfuckers made today? Just today. Y'all could pay my salary off of today or my 2-week paycheck or whatever. Y'all could pay me that today based on what y'all made, and y'all don't. You won't. And if I ask for a raise, y'all not gonna give it to me. When it come to bonuses, y'all niggas will talk all year about these motherfucking bonuses, and then all of a sudden, y'all say, hey, we didn't do it this year. We didn't make it, guys. Didn't make the cut. You bitch you! So it's kind of the same. It's a little different, but it's kind of the same. You got to put yourself in the position to understand. Put yourself in somebody else's seat. Okay? Now here we're going to talk about, or she's going to talk about rather, Tyler Perry. She's got a recording of Tyler Perry where he admits that he violated and mistreated her, right? He still refuses to come out publicly and acknowledge what he said, admitting his guilt, admitting his role in whatever may have happened with Monique. But she addresses it, and I believe she played the recording for Shannon Sharpe prior to the interview so he could hear it himself without having to ask, well, what about Tyler Perry?
When you did that interview with Kat, I could respect how you do it. Because Kat said you let them people lie in your face. And your response was, Kat, I don't know if they're lying or not.
Right.
Because I can only take them at their word.
At their word.
Right?
Yes.
Well, we sent you the audio of Tyler Perry. I don't want you to take me at my word. I want you to hear his words. And what did you hear that man saying? What did you hear that man saying?
He said it.
What did he say?
Is Monique, you know you're not supposed to be recording people.
Hey, man, I don't like that. I don't like that, Shannon. She asked you what the motherfucker said. Say what the motherfucker said. It's a recording. Don't be goddamn bowing back. Tyler Perry can't whoop your ass. We know that.
No. Let me back up.
Okay.
Everything we did was legal. And here's where a black woman really gets the kick in the ass. Had I not recorded Tyler Perry, then it would have been my word against his. And then on top of that, it would have been, he's so powerful, we can't even pay no attention to that.
Right.
Well, now I have him on audio, which is legal to do where we live.
Right.
Okay? We have him on audio. And do you know what some people then said? Why would you record him? Just like you sat there and said, you know it's illegal to... But did you hear what the man said? I violated you.
Yeah.
I mistreated you.
Yeah.
Do you know, Shannon, that's cost my family tens of millions of dollars?
Yeah.
Over a lie and a rumor?
Is he gonna make a? He's gonna compensate you for that?
I want you to look in your camera.
Yes.
And I want you to talk to Tyler Perry because you heard what that man said. So ask him, will he compensate my family for that?
Tyler, will you come on Club Shay Shay and let's have a conversation about the fair compensation for what transpired between you and Monique? You can sit right here and she's sitting right here and you and I can have a conversation.
And we'll do you one better. And give me 5 on that, baby. We'll do you one better, Shay. My husband and I'll sit right next to him.
Which he's going to decline. Because clearly, anything that has to do with Monique's husband, Tyler Perry is not with it, which is absolutely insane to me. But hey, everybody's got their quirks, right? So, what else do we got on the docket for this? Oh,
when you did that interview with Kat, I could respect
I don't have a
how you
recording
do
for
it.
this. I didn't get the clip, but I did watch this and saw it myself. Where she went at DL Hughley. She had we know about the issue between her and DL Hughley, which she still doesn't understand. She said that he's publicly lambasted her for years. She thought that they were cool, that they were friends at one point. She did his radio show years ago. He wasn't present. The rest of his staff was there. And she said that they had a great interview. Then they get to, wind down the show, which a lot of these radio shows do. It's like, hey, you want to play a game? So then they do the Would You Rather game. You've probably heard the story before. We're going to reiterate it because she talked about it today. And in that game, they asked her, they said, would you rather your husband, which automatically is fucked up because if you ask me, would you rather, you're supposed to be asking me, would I rather do X or Z? Me being the Y factor, right? Why would you say, would you rather somebody you love close to you do X, da. But that's what they did. And they say, would you rather your husband have sex with, what was it, Tyler Perry without a condom? Or no. Tyler Perry with a condom? Or Superhead Corinne Steffens without one? And she looking like, hey, hold the fucking door, okay? What type of question is that? Why y'all asking me that type of question? And who the fuck told y'all it was okay to ask me some shit like that without ass whooping being the first thing on your mind? Right? So she began to cause a little ruckus. They start getting, a little tense in the room. They contact DL Hughley. She gets on the phone with him. And she says that DL Hughley was just like super relaxed, super calm. And he said, well, that's just what we do. That's how we play the game. It is what it is. Didn't issue an apology. Didn't say, I'm sorry, my team offended you. We're going to make it right. Let me get on the phone with them. Hey, why'd y'all do that? Not even a, hey, I know that was the question for today, but yeah, make sure y'all don't do that again. Make sure y'all take care of Monique, whatever she asked for. Make sure she's taken care of. Pay for a meal tonight on the town or something. Somebody got to do something. DL Hughley didn't do a motherfucking thing. Right? So from there, when she had that conversation with him, she understood, okay, that's not my brother. I thought he was. Then, of course, the public lambastion of Monique, once she came out and said her piece about Netflix or whatever, the equity in Hollywood, he wasn't here for it. He wasn't seeing what she was going for. He came out and said, hey, when Netflix came to me for a special, I took whatever they wanted to give me. Monique says, okay, I have no problem with you taking whatever the fuck they want to give you. I, however, will not. Right? And you can't judge anybody's negotiation tactics because what works for you may not be what works for me, which is why there's different prices, which is why there's a negotiation process, which is why there are motherfucking contracts in place to lock in what it is that we discuss. What you have on your paper has nothing to do with mine. Right? From that point, they ended up getting booked for a couple different comedy shows where Monique was the headliner. He was on the show as well. A couple of those shows, he didn't show up, decided to leave, not be a part of it. They get to Detroit where she flamed his ass up on stage. He thought he was going to be the headliner. She put paperwork out, said, hey, this is what it says. I am the headliner, whatever. He puts out a memo, not a contract, but a memo, which basically in a memo, you put your list of demands, your questions, your things that you're asking for. But until it's put in contract, It's not official. She says you're trying to manipulate the press. You're trying to change the conversation. You're trying to move the goalpost, nigga. So he showed up at the time that she was supposed to go on stage because he was still, I guess, thinking he was going to be the closer of the show, the headliner. And she says, okay, I'm about to flame your ass up in here because I know you in the building. You've been playing with me. You've been playing with my name. And I just been tracking everything. You know what I'm saying? I've been saving up, right? She put the motherfucking spirit bomb on his ass for my DBZ fans. He didn't like that shit. So moving forward, we get into Tiffany Haddish. Right? So Tiffany Haddish at some point came out and said something to the effect of, she's glad that she doesn't have a husband like Monique's. That's tough. How do you say that about somebody, especially somebody that you don't know? How would you know anything about her husband or how he is when he's just out here advocating for his wife, the only person he's legally bound to advocate for in this lifetime, other than if he has children? So here's Monique addressing that situation.
And the conversation turned to Monique. And she said, well, I don't do business like Monique do business, and I'm glad I don't have that husband of hers.
Shit.
But she don't know your husband.
And when I saw that, it's like, Tiffany, if you had a husband like mine, you may not have 2 DUIs. If you had a husband like mine, you may not be caught up in what looks like you could have been grooming a child.
Shit.
And I say all of that with no judgment. But when you speak about having a husband like mine, you open up the door. And I'm saying to you, if you had one like mine, you may not sit in these positions that you can't explain the next day.
Right.
Or it's a hard way to go. So once again...
Well, she doesn't even have a husband, let alone like yours.
Well, damn it now. You said it. I sipped on that, Shannon.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I told y'all, she caught a snipe. Like, she didn't spend too much time on Tiff. She just let the motherfucking chopper sing from a safe distance and sipped out her motherfucking glass. Gotta be careful with the shit that you say. Even as I sit in this seat and talk to y'all, the stuff that I think, oh man, if I just spewed everything that I think off the top of my motherfucking head versus what I actually spit into this mic, 2 totally different worlds, right? Because I understand you gotta have discretion. You gotta have respect for individuals. I may say things in jest. I may say things in a joking fashion, right? But I don't go too far. I have discretion about what it is that I will and won't talk about on the channel. I have discretion about, okay, am I beating a dead horse? Does it feel like I'm spewing propaganda? All of those things I take into account, and I'm just J Nolan, right? Just a guy on YouTube with 9,000 subscribers trying to build. I'm nowhere near a Tiffany Haddish today. But when you speak about other people's situations, you gotta have some foresight. Gotta foreshadow, could this come back and bite me in the ass? And today, one of them Florida gators showed up and popped out that motherfucking trash can on your ass. Ooh! You caught one heavy. If you had a husband like hers, maybe you wouldn't be out here with fucking DUIs, getting kicked out the club, getting carried out the club, getting in car crashes, not knowing what the fuck going on, getting your ass hauled off into the goddamn county jail, and don't know what you did to get there. Shit. Or as everybody like to hear me say, God damn. Ooh. Who else was on the docket today? Oh, Shaq. I ain't even put Shaq in the goddamn thumbnail, but she had some interesting words for Shaq and Oprah. I gotta play this. Now, I don't want to say anything. I'm gonna let Monique say this because I don't want to make it seem like she insinuated anything. I want you to make your own inference. shit.
You heard what Shaq said? Shaq
What'd he
said,
say?
they asked Shaq, should a man open up to a woman? Shaq said no. He says, because if you do, they're going to use it against you. He said, because if I'm crying about something, they're going to say the first time they get mad, they're going to say, see, you crying because your daddy said what he said.
How do you take advice from a man who has no woman?
Bow.
And I love Shaq. But how do you take advice from my brother that has no one?
Okay.
If you have that person in your life and you say, listen, I'm going through. Who else do you talk to at nighttime in your pillow talk? Who else do you share your life?
That's the thing. Motherfuckers, they want to deter you from pillow talk, right? Especially in this new age, right? Pillow talk, you're talking to your significant other, your partner, especially if you're married. How'd your day go? What's going on? You can't come clean about what the fuck going on in your life, going on in your existence out there in the society. You can't goddamn come behind the house that you pay for. You know what I'm saying? And speak to your woman about what's going on with you mentally, spiritually. That's a terrible existence. That's a fucked up existence. And y'all wonder why y'all say ain't no sympathy for a black man. I'm going to let the sister continue.
With who are you sharing with your life with, Shaq? Do you tell another man about your situation? And does he make you feel better? Like, who do you share your life with? So I don't agree with that at all. And I love my brother, but I don't agree with that. I think that makes division. Because if I got to call my girl and I talk to my husband.
Right.
When I heard Oprah say, and these are her words, not mine. She said, when I be stressed out and I be going through it after the show, I will come home and Gail could calm me down and put me to sleep. What you say?
Put you to sleep.
What's that?
Okay, then you said it.
I'm going. Nope. Oh, I'm getting Oprah on here.
Hold on now. Did you say Gayle King is Oprah's Jay Holiday? She put it in a bed, bruh. Now, I don't know, man. Y'all, hey, you know what? I ain't even gonna be messy. Finish your statement.
I'm gonna get Oprah on the show.
But those are her words. So I believe that partnership is partnership all the way around. When I leave this earth, there is nothing my husband will not know about me, and the other way around.
Respect. Okay. Let me see if I got anything else here. If not, we're gonna go ahead and close up. I wish I could talk about this all day, but you know, and this is just off of what I've seen. Right? We've been talking for an hour and I haven't even seen the complete 3 hours from this monumental conversation. As y'all can see in my background, it was much brighter in here before. The sun was coming through the window and shit. Now we got real nice, intimate looking shit in here. We've been talking for a minute. Let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Did you watch the entire Monique interview? Is there anything specific that I should look out for when I go back and watch the entire tape? I know she spoke about her upbringing, talking about black love and some other things that I saw people talking about. So I'll definitely be on the lookout for those things. But if there's anything else specific, be sure to put it in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. Once again, I thank everybody that's supporting. I know I just got on a lot of you all's radar within the last few weeks. I'm so glad that y'all are here, that y'all come back and fuck with your boy. Some of y'all have been going out and listening to my Southside Nolan album. I greatly appreciate it. All of the good feedback. Some of y'all said y'all downloaded and paid for it and all the good shit. That's heartwarming for me, man. I can't even thank y'all enough. And for those of y'all that went out your way to cash at me for the content and support, I greatly appreciate y'all too. I'm gonna go ahead and take us out with my song, Let's Get It. And I will catch y'all probably tomorrow. I'm not going to do no more content tonight. I'm going to get to my family. But much love and respect to y'all. Have a great evening. And I will catch y'all on the next one. Okay? Peace. King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rags. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking for flex, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some batteries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. When I catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.